So basically, I would say that, as I said in our discussions prior to the I feel that we are not in a situation right now that we are overburdened by the COVID situation and that we have to change our practice. So, for our comfort or for our protection, I don't think for the hospital we are not overburdened. We are not keeping staff away for looking after COVID patients. So, every hospital has to make a decision for itself. So, what is the issue that we are facing is the issue of patient transport. So, when patients are having to travel, that is a difficulty for them. In a crowded hospital, it could also be a situation where you have, you've got some of your staff as a reserve force just in case somebody comes COVID positive and a portion of your staff has to be quarantined. And therefore, there is some impact on your capacity or ability to treat patients. So that may be another reason why you may choose to change your protocols. If that situation is not arising, I would strongly recommend to doctors in places where there are no COVID patients, in places where there are few COVID patients, to actually not change their protocol. Because changing protocols comes at a cost. Let us not forget that these protocols have been refined, and this is what gives our patients the best survival. So wherever the impact of COVID is not that much, I don't think that protocol should be changed. However, there are obviously certain situations where, if there are busy hospitals or if there are cities like Mumbai, Delhi, which are severely impacted, or if there are states, or even Indore, for example, or there are states like Rajasthan or Gujarat, there are this. So across the board, of course, all hospitals, we have to thermally screen our patients before they come in. We have to have practices like cleaning the couch after every patient to make sure that we are not, sort of landing up in a situation where one patient is going to transmit to another. We also have to make sure that our staff is protected and that they do not transfer from one patient to another the contagion. And therefore, there are precautions that we need to take. For example, wearing gloves, wearing gowns, wearing masks, changing gloves in between patients. So, what we have instituted is that one technologist is gowned up and wears gloves and a mask. Of course, all are wearing masks, but wearing a cap and a mask, and he or she is the only one who's actually setting up the patient. So, one of the things that we have changed now, practice, is the setup. So, the way we are setting up patients is slightly different. Extra precautions need to be taken when we are treating patients of brain and head neck, because there the technologist is actually quite close to the patient, unlike a pelvis or a breast patient. So there, I think some extra precautions need to be taken. All patients are wearing masks when they are being set up. So except head, neck, and brain, where they are actually wearing a cast, but otherwise, if you're treating a pelvis patient or a breast patient, the patient should also be wearing a mask. That is one aspect. The other is, of course, hypofractionation. So wherever hypofractionation is possible, for example, in breast and prostate, we need to practice hypofractionation. In palliative treatments, we need to cut down our treatments from a 10 fraction treatment to a 5 or even a single fraction treatment. As far as concurrent chemotherapy is concerned, it's a double-edged sword. When you're giving up practicing concurrent chemoradiation, you're accepting a poorer survival. And so that is a judicious decision that has to be taken for the risk assessment of each patient before you are giving up on practicing concurrent chemotherapy.
Thank you. Dr. Sapna, I have a question.
Yes.
You're using PPE for all your patients. Technicians are setting it up. Is that right? For the one who is setting it up.
We are not using PPE.
Okay.
But we are using, so one of our technologists,
okay,
is the one who actually is in contact, who touches the patient, who sets up the patient. And that person, so we had, I'm sure like everyone else, we had a discussion with our ID team. And so these are all COVID untested patients.
Yeah. So are you doing the COVID test before starting treatment or no?
Yes. As of last week, we have started doing COVID tests for all patients. So we do one
only at the start of treatment.
One RT-PCR for all. No, yes. Currently, it is only one RT-PCR test for COVID before starting treatment, before actually enrolling the patient.
Dr. Harith, I would like to add on this that of course whole PPE is not required for technologists here, right? But in case where there is a tracheostomy patient, I think we have to be a little bit more careful when we treat a tracheostomy patient.
So tracheostomy patients, I would like to make one recommendation that we should use an HME filter. So that is what we are doing for our patients. So we make our patients, so at the time of the treatment, the patient and setup, we have the filter. Now this filter is in the ICU, this filter is changed every day. But what we are doing is that we are putting the filter and we continue to use the filter till it becomes 25% discolored. This is the guidance that we have received from our ID team, that after it becomes 25% discolored, it will the work of breathing will become too much and the patient will not be comfortable. So that I think is very good protection for the technologists.